Sri Lanka's most powerful news brand.
As you said yesterday, the President made a special statement regarding the recommendations that were made in the report of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry into the issuance of bonds. Now, this report has been sent to the Attorney General, and the Attorney General is extensively studying this report and will revert to the President as soon as possible with what action needs to be taken on the recommendations that have been made. Now, this evening, the Prime Minister's office issued a statement regarding the report of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry.
The communique thanks the Presidential Commission of Inquiry for the bond issuance for the 10 months of exceptional service and says it is the aspiration of all for the law to be enforced without any influence. It further stated the report of the Committee on Public Enterprise chaired by Sunil Handunethi was directed to the Attorney General on the 31st of October 2016 on the directive of the Prime Minister. It reads, the responsibility of taking legal action on the bond issue was vested with the Attorney General in December 2016 by the Prime Minister and again in January 2018 by the President. The statement from the Prime Minister's office reads, the Prime Minister hopes the Attorney General's department would take appropriate action in relation to the matter and emphasize that this process has once again established the democratic and law-abiding nature of the government of good governance. It goes on to say the government of good governance aspires to investigate the irregularities that had taken place since 2008 and take legal action as recommended by the Commission of Inquiry.
Now, according to the Prime Minister's statement, the Prime Minister had sent a report to the Attorney General in December 2016, while the President sent that statement just a few days ago. But this is what the Prime Minister had to say in March 2015 after the bond issue.
There is nothing to claim. The governor of the central bank was involved in this. He had given the instructions in the presence of two other deputy governors. The allegation the governor intervened in the tender process is a baseless one. On the 27th of February, I appointed a 3-member committee to inquire into the 30-year bond issue. How else am I to look at this? This cannot be referred to the monetary board. I need to be satisfied with this first.
Well, Newsfirst made the first revelation on the Treasury bond issue on the 8th of March 2015. And soon after that, the President had instructed the President's Secretary to appoint or look into this bond issue. However, the Prime Minister was quick to appoint a 3-member committee, which is known as the Pitipana Committee. And the statement that you witnessed of the Prime Minister took place during a debate regarding the findings of this Pitipana Committee. Now today, the JVP's Sunil Watagala, an attorney at law, explained this process of the Pitipana Committee that took place 2 years ago.
Based on the recommendations, the Attorney General can directly file indictments in relation to some of the charges. Providing false evidence comes under the Penal Code and it needs to be looked into by the Criminal Investigations Department. Leasing out the apartment is referred as a bribery and corruption, and action needs to be taken by the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption. However, the Attorney General can directly file indictments on some matters. Based on this report, the Prime Minister has not been set free completely. One key concept in the Code of Criminal Procedure is regarding the behavior of a person before and after committing a crime. Following the bond issue, the Prime Minister appointed the Pitipana Committee. The members of that committee only know matters about James Bond. The people who were appointed were those who had no understanding about the bond issue. We believe the entire Pitipana Committee report was an attempt to conceal this crime. After this was exposed, how did one behave? They included a person who was not remotely involved in court proceedings. He was used to publish a book as well. This is the behavior after the incident. The Attorney General must look at this evidence. No matter what the Commission of Inquiry report says, you have the capability of seeking a clarification of the actions of the mastermind of this operation by directing the Criminal Investigations Department and the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption.
Now, we are not talking about one particular political party, we are talking in general. Now, allegations were made against Aujana Mahendra, Aujin Aloysius, the primary dealer institution in question, and even ministers like Kabir Hashim and Malik Samarawikrama. Telephone conversations between certain persons and purchasers that were made during the period under investigation were exposed at the Presidential Commission of Inquiry. Now, the petty actions of single individuals have brought disrepute to a political party which undoubtedly was a pioneer in bringing democratic politics into Sri Lanka. So, should this one political party be responsible for the actions of single individuals? Senior banker Rusiri Palatendkon explained this on the Patigala program this morning.
This is not an issue about a political party. The United National Party is an extremely good party which produced good gentlemen like D.S. Senanayake. It was the first democratic party which was created in our country. We should not reprimand the party because of a few people. To clean up the party, the few rogues should step out.